You are now listening to the NFT Quarterback Podcast with your host, Riki Van Winkle.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the NFT Quarterback Podcast with your host, Riki Van Winkle. Today I'm joined by Danny Singh, and we're going to go over Thursday Night Football from Week 7, and we're going to go over our picks for Sunday's games and Monday game in Week 7. Danny, how's it going today?
Pretty good, man. Pretty good.
How'd you feel about that Thursday night game?
You know what? I was pleasantly surprised, considering the last two Thursday night games have been a snore storm.
And what happened? I feel like the Cardinals, when we were looking at the game, it's like their offense had no chance. But it was actually the defense of the Cardinals that came through in the Thursday night game.
Yeah, their defense got a little bit of help from Andy Dalton over there. He ended up throwing 6 touchdowns total. The problem was that 2 of them were to the other team.
Right. So like the second quarter starts, and I believe the score was 7-3 to start the second quarter. And then there was just a crazy scoring onslaught. The Cardinals went down, scored a touchdown, got a 2-point conversion. They had a field goal before that. And then 2 consecutive passes, the Cardinals intercept it and take it to the house.
Yeah. I mean, and it was crazy because it was like with less than a minute to go in the half. And yeah, I don't know, man. It was crazy.
Yeah, the Falcons definitely put themselves in a hole. They're leading like 7-3, and then a couple minutes later it's 28-7. Which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, you always want your quarterback to take some risks, but those are a little one too many risks, if you ask me.
Yeah, and he also threw. They were in the red zone, the Saints were, and he threw an interception in the end zone to the Cardinals. I was just like, come on, bro, you can't be doing this stuff.
Yeah, I remember seeing that in the first half. He was, and the guy was totally marked. Like, he had 2 men on him. Like, it was just a really bad decision. That was unforgivable.
It's kind of like a Russell Wilson decision these days.
Just have to shit on Russell Wilson. Just, fuck that guy.
You know what? I don't know what to tell you about that guy. Except he really likes throwing to the other team or just throwing so the ball hits the ground. You know.
He's having an off couple of weeks for sure. I mean, he's still got some time to turn it around, so who knows?
Yeah, he's got an opportunity this week. My favorite thing about the Thursday night game were those Cardinals jerseys. I really like those jerseys.
You know what? Those black and red jerseys were pretty sweet, not gonna lie.
Yeah, that was hot. So Thursday night, the Cardinals pull it out, and now they are 3-4. So they still suck.
I mean, DeAndre Hopkins came back. I believe he had like 10 catches for like over 100 yards. So that's good for them. Let me see. He had 10 catches for 103 yards, no TDs, but that's good for him, man, you know?
Yeah, finally get Kyler Murray somebody to throw the ball to. He's really missed Hopkins.
Yeah, his favorite target. He was targeted 14 times.
Well, it's good that he got 10 for 14. That's pretty good.
Yeah. And, I mean, Kyler threw it 29 times, so almost 50% of his attempts were to Hopkins.
You know he was just waiting for Hopkins to come back.
Yeah, I mean, he needed him for sure.
And can you tell me about the altercation on the sideline between Murray and his coach?
DeAndre Hopkins talked about it a little bit in the post-game interview, and he said that they were just very heated, or they were both just 2 passionate players that wanted to win, and then I guess Hopkins had gone in between them and just kind of told them both to calm down. So I don't think it was anything too serious. I think they were just both across, and it just looked a little bit worse than it actually was. That's the way Hopkins had explained it. But also, he's on the Cardinals, right? So he's gonna try to tell us that, oh, don't worry, it's nothing. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, not a big deal. But it looked like Kyler Murray was really digging into his coach. But Kyler Murray's also the guy on the field, so I always feel like the guys on the field have a better view of what's going on than the dude standing on the sideline.
I think the guys on the sideline know a little bit more, man. They've got more than one angle to look at. They've got guys up in the box and stuff, you know.
Okay.
And Kyler's she's also pretty well known for not knowing the playbook, right? So when his coach tells him to do something, I think he should do it.
All right. I'll take your word on that one. Yeah, it was more. Another thing is Kyler kind of knows if somebody's going down on that ship, it's going to be the coach. It's going to be Cliff Kingsbury. So I feel like he's a little bit more confident. I think cocky could be a word you could use there because he knows his spot is really secure, and the more the Cardinals lose, the less secure the coaching spot becomes. So he can kind of step up there and play his cards. Although I wouldn't play my cards in week 7. I'd wait, keep the ace in the hole and wait for it. But that's him,
Yeah, I think Kyler had a bit of a scapegoat the last couple of weeks. He's just like, well, our number one receiver's not here, so who do you expect me to throw the ball to? So I don't think anyone's really been blaming his play for the reason why they haven't been doing so well recently. But I think to turn it around, man, they're really gonna have to be clicking towards the end of the season because, like we've said in the past, that division is wide open, and the Niners just picked up a really big acquisition literally last night or this morning, which is going to propel them to possibly be the favorites now.
Right. The only thing I see there with Christian McCaffrey coming over to the Niners is he has to learn that system. Albeit his dad grew up in Kyle Shanahan's dad's system, so maybe he learned a little bit as a kid or something like that, but he's got to get adjusted there.
Yeah, I mean, I think that he'll get adjusted fairly quickly. He's a smart kid. He came from Stanford, right? They don't just let anyone into Stanford.
Yeah, it's not Fresno State.
I mean, yeah, he's got a really short window. What's like 3 days or so, Friday, Saturday, maybe 2 days and a half to learn some plays. But I'm guessing they're gonna have him limited playing time this weekend, even though they have a really tough game against the Chiefs. So they could have picked him up at a better time in the season, I think.
True. And what it does is it gives Jimmy G an opportunity to throw to his running backs, which, I mean, he's had running backs in the past, but it's kind of just always been a hodgepodge of this guy and that guy, and now he's got a legitimate threat coming out of the backfield.
Yeah, I mean, Jimmy's got some weapons now, so he really doesn't have any excuse if you ask me.
No excuses, definitely not. Plus, he's been in that system for so long, he should know it really well, and now he can put a little bit more trust in his running backs that he can throw it to him out of the backfield. I only see this as positive. The one thing I feel like the Niners are missing, though, is, they have that running back now. They have a hybrid receiver with Deebo Samuel. They have a tight end, George Kittle, but they don't have that, like a Justin Jefferson or a Devontae Adams wide receiver, But you can't have everything.
I mean, Deebo he's got that kind of potential, so yeah. I think it progressed to be one of those type of receivers for sure.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. They're using him right now more in that, like, hybrid, like running back, or they'll get it to him on a short pass and just let him get yards after the catch. But they have Brandon Ayuk, who's more of their pure wide receiver. We'll see what they can do. I'm definitely curious to see what the Niners offense is going to look like now with the acquisition of Christian McCaffrey.
I think it's going to be really explosive, honestly. I think it's going to be an offense to watch.
Awesome. All right, man, let's get into these games. Starting with the first one, the Ravens at the Browns.
The Ravens at the Browns. This is going to be a good game because the Browns have a really good running game, and the Ravens' defense is not as good this year as it has been in the past. At home, I'll be taking Baltimore Ravens in this one.
The Ravens. I'm with you on that pick. The one thing I see about this game is these are two teams that don't know how to finish games. So it's just going to be a war of attrition, like who's worse at finishing games. That's kind of what I'm saying. You know, we'll figure that out this week.
Who's going to fuck this one up?
Yeah. Both teams have the potential to do it, and they're more than capable of blowing any fourth quarter lead. We've seen that this year. So it's going to be interesting to see if it gets close in the fourth quarter, or if one team's leading in the fourth quarter, maybe it's the other team's chance to change the narrative. The Ravens definitely need to pull this out, just because Lamar Jackson wants his contract.
I think they will pull it out, at home. He's had a pretty decent year so far. He does have 6 picks, which is a bit high for, 6 games into the season?
Yeah.
So he'll want to keep that down, and, hopefully stack up some touchdowns this weekend.
I like to see it. All right, we got the next game. It's in the same division as... No, it's a different division. Sorry. We got the Panthers and the Bucks. What are your thoughts on that one?
I think this is going to be a blowout. The Panthers are, what's it called? Having a garage sale at the moment. Where they're just letting everyone go, and they're just in full rebuild mode at this point. I think Baker is hurt. They just let go of McCaffrey. I think they're just calling it a year at this point.
Definitely. And the Bucks is a great opportunity for them to play against some lesser competition and fine-tune the things that they've been struggling with the last couple weeks.
Yeah, because the Bucks haven't been playing so well neither. I mean, I think they lost last week as well, right?
They lost to the Steelers last week. Ouch.
Jesus Christ. The Steelers? Come on, man. Come on, man. You can't be losing to the Steelers.
Yeah, that was brutal. Yeah. So I don't want to see a repeat of that this week. I think they're going to take the Panthers down easily, just because the Panthers, like you said, they're getting rid of everybody. They're cleaning house, and they have no fuel left to work with. They're on fumes at this point, just coast through the season. They're looking for that number 1 pick, I feel like, in next year's draft.
Yeah, because it doesn't look like Baker's the answer over there.
No, that got stamped out pretty quickly.
Yeah, the fans have already turned against him, and he's kind of turned against the fan. It got ugly really quick over there.
Yeah. Sucks to suck.
It sucks to suck. Very true.
So you're taking the Bucks in this game?
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
All right. I'm with you on that one also. Next, we have a pretty interesting matchup because it's a battle of two 3-3 teams with the Bengals and the surprisingly all-right Falcons. What are your thoughts on that game?
The surprisingly mediocre Falcons. Yeah, you got that right. I mean, they snuck some wins out here and there. Mariota, similar to Geno Smith, he's playing better than people had anticipated. So, at home, I'll be taking Cincinnati.
Cincinnati. Still no faith.
I hyped up the Eagles to do all this, all that. No.
You mean the Falcons?
Yeah, sorry, the Falcons.
It's all good. They're deserving of the title to be switched. Yeah, I'm gonna take the Falcons. I think, well, they beat the 49ers last week, which I consider an impressive win, so I'm going to take them to follow up on that. I'm not big on the Bengals this year for whatever reason, so I'm going to take the Falcons in this game.
Yeah, right. The Niners are all beat up. They beat the second and third string Niners last week. That's what they did.
Niners, man. Killing me. All right, we got the next game, the Lions at the Cowboys. And Dak Prescott's coming back for this one.
Dak is back. I tell you what. And he's going to be coming up against the worst rated defense in all of football. So he couldn't have picked a better time, a better game to come back to.
Yeah, definitely.
This week down there in Jerry's world, Dak is going to lead him to a big victory.
I'm totally with you on that one. The Lions, bless their souls, they tried, but they are failures yet again, and I don't see any chance of them improving. So they might get to Thanksgiving and be like 2-8 or something like that, And I definitely see the Cowboys taking this game for sure.
Yeah, man. I mean, you kind of feel bad for the Lions, but it's just like, it is what it is.
Yeah, I don't really feel bad for any of these NFL teams or owners or any of that stuff. Unless it's the 49ers or the Raiders. Those are the only teams I'll ever feel bad for. But other than that, shoot, they got bigger problems to worry about than wins and losses. And the Cowboys are definitely going to take this game. The Lions, they need to figure something out, and maybe in the next 10 years or 20 years, they might be good one time, and that'll be exciting then. But this year is not their year.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be tough, man. I don't know. I don't know what it is. They're like the Sacramento Kings of the NFL. Doesn't matter how hard they try. They change their coach, new players. They just suck.
Yep. That's a good analogy. I can think of the Lions as the Kings. It doesn't matter how they construct their roster, how many first round picks you give them. They'll have all number one picks on the roster, and they'll still be bad, like really bad.
Yeah, I don't know how a team just misses draft picks every year. Just so bad.
Yeah. We got the next game coming up. Danny Dimes and the Giants at the Jaguars.
This should be a good one as well. Down there in Jacksonville. It's crazy. I think Jacksonville had started off the season 2-0, and then now they're 2-1, 2-2, yeah.
Eesh.
But after a close divisional loss last week on the road, I'll be taking the Jaguars this week to bounce back, man. I've still got some faith left in Trevor Lawrence, and Danny Dimes, that's my guy, but man, they're a good team. I don't know. I'm gonna stick with the Jaguars.
Go for it. It's crazy what happens in an NFL week. They could win, but I'm gonna pick the Giants. I'm not going against the Giants yet. I watched them. What's that?
That's a good pick, man. It's a good pick.
Yeah, 5-1 team over a 2-4 team, and people talking about, if they're one of the best teams in the NFC, they still need to prove it. They have to win this game if anybody's going to take them seriously. So I think they know that, and we know that, so they need to show up, show out, and get the W.
The media has actually been giving the Giants a lot of credit, their defense, and they've been playing some good football, so it's crazy to think New York actually has two decent football team from it.
Crazy to think. Yeah, we haven't even got to the Jets game yet. But I got the next game over here as the Commanders and the Packers. And I like the Commanders in this game only because of Heineke. I like the kid. He don't play much and he keeps getting benched. But I still think he has potential. He's a real gunslinger.
I mean, this guy lost the starting job to Carson Wentz, bro. So I don't know how good you could be if you're doing that.
Maybe they were just confused. Maybe they were like seeing through some weird glasses and thinking, okay, you know what? Carson Wentz is better than Heineke, but I remember that playoff game where he went toe-to-toe with Tom Brady the year the Bucks won the Super Bowl. And ever since then, I've just been a fan of his.
Yeah, I do remember that year. That was actually a really good game. Unfortunately, I just haven't really seen that Heineke since.
Yeah. They keep thinking that they can get somebody better, but really they can't because they're the Washington Commanders, and nobody wants to go there, I guess, because the owner's crazy, and yeah, what do you expect?
Yeah, the owner's more concerned about blackmailing other owners rather than building up his own football team at the moment.
Yeah. Too bad because they had Chase Young that year when they played the Bucks as a rookie, and he was real good. He's real good off the edge. This year he's hurt. Otherwise, the Commanders, they would have, I think they'd have a better record than they have right now.
Yeah, it's crazy to think Chase Young, they said he got hurt last November towards ACL, and he still hasn't. He's on the sidelines with the team and stuff, but he hasn't returned to the team yet. Hasn't started playing games for them yet, so it's gonna be interesting to see how that one plays out.
For sure. All right, so who are you picking in that game, though?
The Packers and Commanders?
Yeah.
I'll be taking the Packers.
You have faith in Aaron Rodgers? You think he's going to come through this week?
Nah, I just think those Commanders suck so much. I don't think either one of these teams is very good, but I think one is worse than the other.
The Commanders are at 2-4. The Packers are at 3-3. I just want to see the Packers lose so bad. I never liked the Packers.
I mean, yeah, I fucking hate the Packers too. Fuck them.
Yeah.
I never liked the goddamn Packers. Fuck them.
I never liked the Packers. The good thing is, since I've been alive, the Niners have always met with them in the playoffs and have been able to beat them in the playoffs, except for maybe a handful of times. But I always love it. A Niners-Packers playoff game and the 49ers win, I'm always hyped after those ones.
I remember there was a big one when your boy ran all over him.
What are you doing in that game?
What was his name?
Mosley?
No, the quarterback.
Oh, you mean Colin Kaepernick?
Kaepernick, yeah. He ran for 140 yards on the ass. He ran all over him. They couldn't catch that motherfucker for shit.
Let's look at the injury
Hell no.
report.
Hell no, he was running all over the ass. I think he even did
I heard good things about Taylor,
little belt.
but I don't know if he's gonna play or not. Oh, this.
Yeah, Taylor.
What is it, the Superman belt or the championship belt? Looking that up, I'll
He
just
was
mention
doing it
that
to
both
Rodgers,
teams
so it was
are
like,
over
discount
500.
double check. You
The
remember
Titans
that?
are 3-2, and the Colts are
Remember those
3-2
discount
and 1.
double check commercials?
Oh, okay. So this one,
Fucking belt.
and if I look at the standings also, while you're still looking for that injury report, should be able to see. I mean, Aaron Rodgers, he'll still do that. Like when he beats up on Chicago, he'll still do the belt. This game, the Titans whip it out. Battle for first place in the when he scores a touchdown or something. So winner of this takes the first spot over there. The Jaguars are falling off. They're 2-4, and the Texans.
It's something like he's never lost to
I could say their record, but it's not even gonna matter. You had Tom Brady when he used to play the Bills and the Jets, and he had a stupid record,
I was looking
23-5 or something against the Jets
The latest article.
or the Bills. I don't know which one it was.
Who's doing that right now is Patrick Mahomes. He's
Wow. That's a title.
12-2 That's like 15-3 within his division.
I can't find it.
Like the last 4 years, something like that.
Not surprising.
He's questionable.
Patrick Mahomes.
He did sit out
He's an
last
absolute
week,
monster.
So that's hopeful. That makes
And he tears up that division every year. I mean, hasn't he been to the? No, he didn't. He didn't make. Yeah, the AFC Championship game like 4 years in a row.
But with
I think
something
something
questionable.
like that,
Titans
that's crazy.
home,
Like,
I'm gonna
ridiculous.
take the Titans.
Super Bowl.
Tennessee.
Twice, for sure.
No, just once.
And
Well, you won the one
I'm
Super
gonna take
Bowl
the
and you lost
Colts
the other one.
because Matty Ice had a good week last week.
Yeah,
I believe he
right,
threw
so
for over 300 yards.
They beat the Niners.
So he's getting back into form.
And then they lost.
Also, I'm
Bucks.
down on Derrick Henry,
And then last year,
which is pretty much the
they
Titans'
lost to
offense.
Cincinnati in the
So
AFC.
Matt Ryan had last week 389 yards and 3 touchdowns.
And I think the year
And
before that, he had lost
mechanic
to Tom
foot,
Brady
Derrick
on the
Henry.
Patriots.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
that's
just,
right.
it's just
It was
running
like in
backs.
overtime or something like
once
that.
I see him get nicked up
That
and
must have
banged
been in
up, then I lose my faith in them
2019.
and their speed or their first step or whatever
Yeah,
analytics you
yeah,
want to
that's
talk
when
about.
Patriots had beat
I don't see Derrick Henry coming through and doing anything
in the final.
in the future, unfortunately.
Yeah.
He had his run, but I see those days coming to a close, and that's why I'm picking the Colts in this game.
Mahomes is, but it's really not surprising. The guy has so
Yeah,
much charisma and he has so
unfortunately,
much
that's just
creativity
the
and so
true
much
story
skill
of
out there on the
running backs
football
in
field
NFL.
that
After a couple years and then
is
one or
really
two
impressive and
injuries,
exciting
they
to
just
watch
not
him
really
play.
the same.
Yeah, especially a foot injury. That's got to be
Yeah, man, I mean,
nagging, like
I don't know. He's
you're a running back and your foot's hurt.
He is just like,
It's
yeah.
that can't be good.
Like, just,
All right, so you got the Titans, I got the Colts there. We'll move on to the Raiders and the Texans. The battle of one-win teams.
What are the two things you need for every football game?
I'm just gonna keep this one
Beer
simple.
and
Short,
jerky.
sweet, at home. Raiders.
Now, guys,
Big win this
if
weekend.
you have not had
They just came off
Bandit's
bye.
jerky out of
They
El
can't-
Paso,
they're
Texas, then you have
they're gonna
not
come ready.
experienced jerky.
For sure. The Raiders, I also
Go
got the
to their
Raiders.
Instagram page today
And
at
yeah,
Bandits
it's just that
Jerky
sort of sweet. I think the
915.
Raiders, they've
That's
been losing
Bandits
close games.
Jerky 915.
And this is a
Over
great
there, you can place
opportunity
an
for them to get a
order
win.
today
Now, if it's
for
going
one
to
of
take
their
them anywhere,
4
they should get some
different
momentum
flavors.
from it,
All these
Ah,
flavors are here to satisfy
Raiders
your
doing much
cravings,
this year,
especially
unfortunately.
on Sunday when it's time for football.
The
They have
Raiders
red
really
chili,
needed that win.
lemon pepper, original flavor, and green chili.
That was
All
a
these
game
flavors
a
you
lot
guys
of
can
fun.
order today by reaching out to Bandits Jerky on Instagram at Bandits Jerky 915. And when you are enjoying your Bandits Jerky, make sure you take a
Pull the
picture,
Raiders.
put it
They
to
do
your
what they do
Instagram
best.
story, and tag at Bandits Jerky 915. Everybody, thank you
Alright.
for listening to the
We got the
NFT
next
Quarterback
one.
Podcast. Let's get back
Boy,
into the
Russell
show.
Wilson and the Broncos going up against the Jets.
Yeah, fuck that guy. F.G. He's. If there was a week to turn it around, it would have to be this week because it's getting late in their season too. Even though it's early in the year, they get a loss at home to the Jets. Somebody's gonna get fired, and it damn sure is gonna be Russell Wilson.
Hell no.
So I think they committed 5 years to his ass.
5 years, 130 guaranteed. No way they're getting rid of that guy.
Jesus, yeah, man, that's yeah.
But when you hear the talk from the insiders, they're going for the coach first. They're going for that coach first. They're going to give because it's so hard to find a quarterback. It's way easier to find a coach than it is to find a quarterback.
Yeah. Yeah, that is true. Very true.
And all I'm going to say is 2 words: Sauce Gardner. That's the reason. That's the reason Russell Wilson's already going to have a bad game. You don't know how to mess with the sauce.
You don't mess with the sauce. That's true.
Hell no.
That is very true. I like how you put that. I mean, yeah, I'm taking the Jets too. On the road, this is a big test for the Jets. People don't know if they're legit yet, but I think Salah, having played against Russell Wilson a few times as a defensive coordinator for the Niners, he's built some schemes and game plans around how to defend him for a few times now, a couple of years now. So I think I think the Jets are gonna come out with this victory here.
For sure. And don't forget too, he was also on those Seattle teams that had the really good defense. I believe he was the defensive coordinator for that Legion of Boom. I believe.
Oh, saw that one?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
You might have to double check me on that, but I think I'm like 98% sure he was.
Okay, yeah, that's new to me.
Yeah. All right. So Broncos are going down. They're a sinking ship. But we got another matchup right here. The newly loaded 49ers against the Chiefs. And this game is being played in San Francisco. What are your thoughts here?
The Chiefs seem to be one of the hottest teams in the league. I mean, they were cooled down a bit last week against the Bills, but the Bills are arguably playing the best football in the league next to, I think, the Eagles. So going into Levi Stadium, I think this is going to be a difficult game for them. The Niners just picked up McCaffrey. But with only, 2 days notice to learn how to learn that playbook, I guess. Learn how to fit into that system. It's going to be a bit difficult for them. I'm going to take the Chiefs on the road.
Smart, man. Smart. I'm going to take the 49ers at home. And that's because I believe they could do it. I'm not going to lock this one in. I'm not 100% sure, but I like the 49ers, albeit their defense is pretty ate up right now. What did you pull up the injury report for the 49ers? Do you see what players are missing this week?
It's difficult to say. Let's see what they have. They have Tavarius Ward as questionable. They have Hufanga as questionable, and they have Armstead. They have Armstead as out, and then I don't see anything on Bosa, but I know he was He was questionable, and he was like day to day. I know he didn't play last week, so I don't know, man.
Yeah, I think you said earlier he was practicing or a slight participant in practice.
Let me try.
If they want to win this game, then they're probably going to need him to get pressure on Patrick Mahomes, because if you don't put any pressure on Mahomes, you know he's going to tear him up.
Yeah, that's true, man. They're definitely Bosa groin was limited in practice on Thursday. So yeah, man, it's gonna be hard. Looks like it'll be a game time decision.
All right. We'll see if he gets out there and he's able to be disruptive or be a shell of himself. Maybe they'll have a chance. Yeah, I'm still going to pick the Niners anyways, but that's more of just going with my heart than going with my head. I would not be surprised if the Chiefs won this game. Definitely not.
Oh, here's a new report that just came out 8 minutes ago. Defensive end Nick Bosa and left tackle Trent Williams headlined the list as the duo have recovered from groin tightness and a high right ankle sprain.
They've recovered.
Recovered. Yeah, so practice cleared to play. Yeah, so it looks like they've been cleared to play, both of them, Bosa and Williams. So that's a good sign.
Hell yeah. All right. I feel better about that now.
Jimmy Ward and McGlinchey will both be back as well. So
nice.
Looks like they purposely rested those 4 guys last week against the Falcons.
Yeah, but you see what that got them.
I know, right?
Tore up from the floor up.
It is what it is, my man.
Yeah. All right, next game, we got the Chargers and the Seahawks.
This, I think, is going to be a hell of a game, for sure. I think this is going to be a good one. Down there in LA, SoFi. Gino looks like he's gonna try to cement himself.
He's gonna cement what?
Looks like he's gonna try to cement himself into the offense over there.
Who's
He's
that?
playing Geno Smith,
Oh
I
yeah.
believe,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, for sure.
because he's been playing really well. This Chargers defense is really good, but you know what? Geno is really good at scrambling, so I think this is gonna be a good game.
For sure. Yeah.
You go. What do you say?
I said, yeah, I think it's gonna be a good game too. I see Geno Smith stepping up, of course, tearing it up. Herbert is good, yeah, but the Seahawks are surprisingly good, and I feel like I've been keeping an eye on the Seahawks for a couple years. I feel like when they start getting momentum, it's really hard to stop them.
Yeah. I'm a bit surprised by the Seahawks, even though they're at 3-3, 500. I mean, I didn't expect them to even have this many at this point of the season.
Yeah, because we were talking about that Seahawks Falcons game. Like both these guys are going for the number one seed, and now both those teams are at 500 in week 6 or after week 6.
Yeah, right. So, and it looks like the team that's going for that draft pick is the Panthers.
Yeah, the Panthers are way out ahead. They got some competition with the Texans or the Raiders, depending on who jacks that game up.
No, the Raiders. I don't know. They're definitely not going for that number one spot. They've got Carr, Adams. They got Winfro and
Waller and
Waller. So they're committed, attempting to win league, but they just can't get very many wins out at the moment.
for sure not. And what are the Chargers record at? The Chargers are 4-2. Jeez, so they're right up there with the Chiefs.
Yeah, Chargers are legit, bro.
All right.
Yeah.
Who are you taking in this game?
I'll be taking the Chargers down there at home, SoFi.
Nice. I'm gonna take the Seahawks. And we'll see how that one plays out. Yeah, the Chargers they need to win to keep. If they have an opportunity to keep up with the Chiefs, they should take advantage of that. But it's not going to be easy to beat the Seahawks this week.
Yeah, you got that right, brother.
Hell no, Geno Smith, and they got that rookie running back number 9. Yeah, I watched his highlights last week. Man, he looks good, and they showed a stat, and it was most tackles broken or something like that, and on the list the players had like 3 tackles broken or 5 tackles broken, and he had like 15 the tackles that he broke out of, which is incredible.
Yeah, that's really good.
Just a beast.
Right there.
And we looked at him earlier. He was born in 2000, so he's 22 years old right now. He's right in his prime. That's the perfect age for a running back.
Prime time.
Yeah.
I heard. Hell yeah, brother.
All right, man. Let's get to the next one. We got the Dolphins and the Steelers. Eesh. Is Tua coming back? Is your boy coming back?
I hear it's Tua time down there in Miami.
When it's Tua time, it's winning time for the Dolphins.
When it's Tua time, it's winning time. That boy leaves it all out on the field.
Hell yeah. Literally. He'll leave his consciousness out there on the field.
Sometimes he lives a little bit too much.
Yeah.
Can't really get none of that back, buddy.
He'll never get those minutes back where he's like blacked out, walking around on the field in front of 20 or how many people? 60,000 people. At least he's willing to go out there even though he's concussed and keep playing. I give him props from that, although it's pretty stupid. But I'll give him props for having some guts and the intestinal fortitude to get back out there on the field.
It's a bit risque, as they say.
Yeah, risque. And the Steelers suck. I don't care if they won last week, and they did beat Tommy Boy and the Buccaneers. They still suck.
Yeah, somehow they beat Touchdown Tommy. But I don't think they're going to pull off another win this week, so
No.
we go the Dolphins.
All right, the Dolphins. I'm taking the Dolphins too. 2 a time. I like it. Then we got the last game, the Monday night game. Ooh, the Patriots and their surprising quarterback controversy against the Bears.
You know, Keyshawn Johnson keeps calling him Dr. Z for some reason. I don't know. Is Zappy a doctor? Did he get his doctorate or something?
Maybe they have different eligibility for doctors out there in Western Kentucky University. Like the parents are so proud that their kids make it to college that they just give them a doctorate instead of giving them the bachelor's degree.
Let me look, 'cause I'm just like,
No way the guy's a doctor.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
Maybe 23 years old. There's no way this guy has a doctorate. He's 23. That's literally impossible. You have to be in school for like 8 years, dude.
yeah.
You have to be in college for 8 years. Why does he keep calling him Dr. Z? I've got to figure this out.
I'd be listening to that show too. Keyshawn, he's just said he wanted to give him a cool nickname.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. He's like, he's playing good. He needs a nickname. And he called him Dr. Z.
Okay, because I was like, why is he referring to him as Dr. Z? Like, what the fuck? Is he a guy fucking doctor?
He's going to be calling the medical staff back when somebody gets hurt. Like, don't worry, I'm a doctor.
I'm like, if he's a goddamn doctor, what the fuck is he doing playing football?
Oh, man. Maybe he wants to do medical procedures on himself. Like, if he tears his ACL, he wants to repair it by himself. I don't know.
This guy's taking ETE studies to the next level.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna use myself as a test rat.
Yeah. But this week, even if Mac Jones is healthy and they're saying like he's at 80%, you know, they're going to try to keep him until maybe he's 90% or 95%. I don't think it really matters. Keep Zappe on the field. Give Mac Jones a tablet and a headphone and let him just stand there on the sideline and watch how it's done.
That's what I'm saying. Because, look, Mac Jones has got 786 yards, 2 TDs, and 5 picks, right?
Holy crap.
Zappe over here has got 596 yards, 4 TDs, and 1 pick. And I think Zappe's only played 2 games.
Why are you going to bring Mac Jones back?
Like, I'm pretty sure that's his job now.
Yeah. Because Belichick don't mess around. He's not going to put somebody out there who's going to throw him picks when he knows he's got Zappy Boy, Dr. Z, coming through. I mean, I think he threw over 300 yards last week. You ain't going to get that out of Mac Jones.
So, yeah, I don't know if Zappe started against the Packers.
He did not start against the Packers.
Okay, then Hoyer, because it said there's Hoyer and there's Zappe on the passing sheet for against the Packers. Maybe Hoyer started, went 5 for 6, and then Hoyer got hurt, and then Zappe went 10 for 15 that game, and they only lost by 3 points in overtime, right?
Yeah.
And the next 2 games they blow out Detroit Lions, arguably the worst defense in the league, so that's a good little confidence boost right there. I can see the stats. Yeah, 188, 1 TD, 1 pick. And then last week they blew out the Browns, arguably a really good defense. And I think he threw for 309 yards, 2 TDs, no picks. So he killed it last week. I don't know why. Yeah, I feel like he's earned the job, at least for the moment.
Yeah.
So,
to cut it close against the Packers is already good. I mean, we don't know. We can't write down what the Packers are this year really yet. But still, that's his first game in the NFL. He's a third stringer. It's literally like this quarterback has fallen into the Patriots' lap somehow, some way. Nobody expected it. They probably didn't even expect it. And now he's like Dr. Z.
Yeah, the last time Mac Jones played. It was against Baltimore, and this guy he had 321 yards,
Oh, okay.
but he threw for 0 TDs and 3 picks.
That's no bueno.
Yeah, so it's just like that was the last time Mac Jones played, and then I know that he has an ankle sprain. Belichick not very clear with the media. He just keeps saying it's day to day, day to day. So we don't know if that's going to be 1 week or 6 weeks. So I think at this point, just stick with Dr. Z, man.
Yeah.
Come on,
Keep him out there.
for sure.
So who you got in this game?
100% Dr. Z. 100%, no questions asked.
The Patriots all day. The Bears.
You know what? Just because he's got that really cool nickname, this will be my lock of the week.
Monday
Dr. Z,
night.
lock it in.
Monday night, lock of the week, Danny Singh. Patriots over the Bears. All right, Danny, we went through all the games. We had Thursday Night Football. We talked about the Christian McCaffrey acquisition. Thanks for coming on the podcast, man, and I'll talk to you next time.
Yeah, it's my pleasure. Thank you.